Okay, so we're diving into newsletter edition 545.
545, that's right.
And wow, this thing is packed
It is.
with all sorts of insights into what's happening, what's coming up in Zambia's digital space,
Definitely lots to unpack here, yeah.
the entrepreneurial scene as well, the innovation.
Yeah, a really dynamic picture emerging in this edition.
We're going to try to extract the most crucial information and understand why it matters to you.
That's the goal, right? To break down what's important, why it's significant, and what it might mean looking ahead.
Right, so this is like your shortcut to being in the know.
Exactly, a shortcut to being well-informed about these developments.
So the newsletter kicks off with a recap of a panel discussion held at Hive Co-working, all about shaping Zambia's digital future.
Yeah, and it was a really interesting conversation supported by Lenko, by BroadPay.
What stood out to you?
You know what struck me was the emphasis on collaboration, the idea that working together is key. Lukanga Landunda BongoHive's executive director really highlighted that point.
Makes sense. The more we can connect and share, the better.
Absolutely. And he also pointed out the growing power of social media for businesses.
Oh, that's an interesting angle.
Right. It's not just about personal connections anymore. It's a real business tool in Zambia, especially given how many people access information through these platforms.
Yeah, that's a good point. The panel also offers some specific insights into different sectors.
Right.
Like Afshan Wallace from AfriDelivery spoke about e-commerce in Zambia.
Yeah, and his takeaway was pretty clear. While e-commerce is on the rise, it's still got so much untapped potential.
So it's just the beginning then.
Exactly. Think about the possibilities for innovation in how things are bought and sold online, especially with mobile phone use increasing.
Right. Lots of room to grow there. Bright Chiniyundu from Linko by BroadPay had some interesting points on the financial technology side of things.
Yeah, he focused on the rapid growth of Zambia's fintech sector.
So more than just payment apps then.
Yeah, it's about making financial services accessible to more people through technology, which has huge implications.
It's about financial inclusion ultimately.
Exactly.
I also noticed that the discussion linked technology to the wider economy.
Right.
Wallace made the point that tech is becoming a vital economic driver alongside mining and agriculture.
It's like recognizing technology as a central pillar of the economy.
Which is pretty forward-thinking.
It is, and it highlights the potential for tech to create jobs and drive growth in new areas.
Definitely an important shift. The newsletter also highlighted the Women in FinTech Hackathon, a really interesting event.
Oh yeah, a collaboration involving the Kamesa Business Council and HAPIPO with teams from Zambia and Malawi.
17 teams participated.
They were all innovating using Mojaloop OSS and Level 1 project tools.
Those are some pretty powerful platforms for financial inclusion.
They are.
And the hackathon wasn't just theoretical, it produced some really practical solutions.
Right.
Malawi's Trade Flow Analytics, one with ideas focused on helping cross-border traders.
A group that often faces challenges accessing financial services.
And Zambia's Mighty Fin came in second.
They developed solutions for women entrepreneurs in the informal sector.
Really targeted solutions addressing specific needs.
Yeah, really impressive stuff.
It really shows how important it is to support women in tech and finance and create spaces for collaboration.
For sure. That's where real change happens.
The newsletter also has a lot of opportunities listed. First up is a call for mentors and experts for the MindTech program.
Right, which is part of the Timbuktu MindTech Hub.
This program aims to bring fresh ideas into the mining technology sector.
It's about supporting startups and rethinking mining practices through youth-led innovation.
That's a great initiative, given how important mining is to Zambia's economy.
It is, and it has the potential to lead to some significant changes.
For listeners with experience in this field, this is a chance to really contribute.
Right, to share your knowledge and insights and guide these startups as they develop their solutions.
So it's about shaping the future of mining in Zambia.
Exactly. And if you're interested, the newsletter has a link to apply.
There's also an upcoming online discussion on Zambia's AI landscape.
That's right. This one's based on the 2024 State of AI in Zambia survey.
A joint effort involving ZICTA and Ubuntu AI.
And the fact that ZICTA is involved shows how important this conversation is on a national level.
Definitely, if you're interested in the future of technology, this is one to check out.
It's happening on March 27th, 2025, from 1800 to 1930 online.
Nice and convenient.
Yeah. And they'll be covering a range of topics like AI regulation in Zambia, opportunities and challenges of AI adoption.
Sounds pretty comprehensive.
It is. They'll also be looking at strategic policy and governance issues.
Important stuff.
Yeah, you can find a registration link in the newsletter.
There's also news about the online launch of the Startup Data Boost report.
A collaboration between Data for Change, the Paris 21 Foundation, and BongoHive.
This report will offer insights into how small businesses in Zambia are collecting, analyzing, and using data.
Essential information for supporting these businesses and helping them use data effectively.
Right. And there's a webinar happening for the launch.
Yes, details and registration link are in the newsletter.
For those looking for more hands-on engagement, there's the Do It Experience event,
All about AI content creation and achieving creative success.
a collaboration between Do It Podcast and Hive Coworking.
This event is happening on April 5th, 2025 at Hive Coworking in Lusaka.
It's a great opportunity to gain practical strategies for using AI in creative work.
And for building a strong online presence.
They have some great speakers lined up. Mapala Musanda Tonga Sakala and Raisa Ismail is moderating.
It's a free event, but spaces are limited, so be sure to check out the application link in the newsletter.
It's also great to see Standard Chartered Bank actively supporting women entrepreneurs.
Yes, the newsletter highlights their feature on HOT-FM's breakfast show throughout March.
They're showcasing women from the YT incubator.
That kind of visibility is so valuable for these entrepreneurs.
The SCYT program has already made a big impact, providing mentorship resources and funding to over 150 women.
That's incredible.
They're featuring businesses covering sustainable snacks, AI-powered lending, affordable beauty products, and online platforms for vetted service providers.
It's a chance to hear directly from these entrepreneurs about their journeys and innovations.
Definitely worth tuning in to HITFM at 7:20 a.m. throughout March.
Absolutely.
Looking at broader opportunities, there's the call for applications for the 2025 ZICTA ICT Innovation Program.
Right. ZICTA is actively supporting innovators, startups, and entrepreneurs with scalable tech solutions.
This program is open to a wide range of sectors like health, agriculture, finance, and e-commerce.
Shows how broad the scope of technological innovation is in Zambia.
The deadline for applications is April 28th, 2025, and you can find the application link in the newsletter.
So if you have a tech idea that could be a game changer, this is the opportunity to explore.
The newsletter also mentions an audio version powered by Google's advanced language model.
A great way to stay informed on the go.
Makes the information accessible to a wider audience. Finally, in the Buzzing Insights section, there's news about Yango Group launching a $20 million venture fund.
Aimed at early-stage startups across IMAP, Sub-Saharan Africa, and Latin America.
That's significant, a real injection of capital into these markets.
Could provide crucial funding for startups in these regions, potentially even in Zambia.
And for entrepreneurs looking for resources, the newsletter highlights the Entrepreneur Resource Portal.
Offers tools and resources like information on funding, budgeting, and networking.
It's a valuable hub for Zambian entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
So we've covered a lot in this deep dive into newsletter edition 545.
We have.
We looked at Zambia's digital future, the Women in FinTech Hackathon, the MindTech program,
The AI landscape discussion, the Startup Data Boost report, the DUIT event, the ZICTA innovation program.
Standard Chartered support for female entrepreneurs, and Yango Group's venture fund.
What a roundup.
This edition really shows how dynamic and evolving Zambia's tech and innovation sectors are.
It does, and there are so many ways to get involved and contribute to this growth.
Here's a final thought for you. All this digital technology, the entrepreneurial spirit, the collaborative efforts, how might all of this shape not just Zambia's future,
but also the wider innovation landscape across Sub-Saharan Africa?
It's a big question, something to think about as you explore the resources and opportunities in the newsletter.
Definitely lots to consider and plenty of avenues to explore.
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time.
See you then.